Hey there, welcome back to the BOM Process course. We are still in Module 2, where we're talking about why you need a process, not a checklist. And here in Lesson 5, we're going to talk about the importance of testing and acting quickly and running rapid, repeated tests. So that's what we're talking about. Now, in the last lesson, I talked about an important concept. In the last lesson, I said, look, I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know what your right niche is, what the right message is, what customer segment you should deal with. I can't answer those questions. But I also want to be clear. That's not me saying that I'm the only one who doesn't know. I'm here to tell you I don't know, you don't know, and chances are no one else can tell you that answer. Now, they can give you thoughts, and I could give you gut level beliefs about something. I say, you know what? I think the right message will be this. But I will tell you over and over again, and I've seen this even from people who have methods that are all about finding your messaging, who will say, I think it's going to be this one, and they're wrong. Because the reality is that the only way you get those answers is to come up with ideas, hypotheses. Basically, you say, you know what, I think this is the right message, or I think this message will outperform that message. And then test it. And let your market tell you what the right message is. Let your market tell you which customer segment maybe is the lowest hanging fruit that you should concentrate on first. Let your market tell you what kind of product you should create. Let your market tell you what type of content they want to consume. And this is the value in rapid testing. Now, part of the problem with this model, and I think why a lot of people don't like to hear this, is that there's a very good chance that your initial inclinations will be wrong. In other words, if you believe that the right message is X, you will test X and you will be proven wrong, that X is not the right thing. And it's not just about messaging. When you get to the point of building your list, you'll say, you know what? I know the freebie that people need and want. It's this. They want to get a 5-part short little video series where I walk them through it because there's a lot of value there. And so you launch that. And it turns out that's not what they want. And we've all had these experiences, but the reality is that you just need to accept that you're going to be wrong more than you're right, even once you know your audience very, very well. The chances are that you're going to come out with ideas that just don't resonate because your brain works differently than your audience's brains do. Your view, your knowledge, what you bring to the table is so different than what they did. And so this is why you need to be thinking not about coming up with a lead magnet, but instead, and this is one example to be clear, but you need to be saying when I'm building my list, you know what, I need to come up with multiple lead magnets. I need to test lead magnet 1 against lead magnet 2, see which one works better. And then take the winner and test another one against that one and choose the winner and test another one against that and ultimately be running tests constantly. Now, sometimes you'll discover, hey, this one's working. Maybe what I need to do is change my message, or maybe I need to tweak it slightly to add something and that will make it work. But the point is that what's going to happen is that you'll find the right answer for all of these questions through testing. And the reason why you need to understand this fundamentally and come at building your business from this perspective is that it shows you the reason why it's important to get into action and get into action quickly. So there's what I'm teaching you in the BOM process and this method of testing and this ideology isn't something that I came up with out of nowhere. If you are aware of the tech startup world, there's a concept known as the lean startup. It was a book, I think it was written back in 2011 by Eric Ries. It's this concept that prior to that, the way that companies created software, that tech startups created things, was very much the way a lot of online entrepreneurs do it. And that is to say, you know what do I think people want? And to come up with a catalog and to do all this thinking and all this planning and plan out a thing and build out a great product that they knew was what people wanted with all the bells and whistles and then launch it. And what happened was in the tech startup world, they discovered that most of the time, those products failed in spite of the fact there had been huge investment and that they had put all of this time. And so the lean startup model said, you know what, instead of doing that, we should get in front of our customers as quickly as possible and run real world tests to figure out, is this what they want? And then depending on what you learn, sometimes you say, hey, this is all wrong, so I need to completely pivot. And other times you say, this is kind of there, but we need to iterate and make it better. And so that's the process of building a business, especially building a business like ours, where we can't simply say, take a model and say, we're going to take this exact messaging and make it work. No, we have to check our messaging and see if it's going to work and iterate. So with us, it's not just about the product. It's with the messaging. It's with the idea. It's with the kind of solution. Do they want a course? Do they want a membership? Do they want coaching? Do they want you to do it for them? So this is the process of doing it. But here's the problem with it. It's going to take time. If it takes you 3 months to run a single test, it's going to take you years to find the right answer. So you have to bring this model of understanding, look, I'm going to have to run a bunch of tests. So what I need to do and the mindset I need to bring to things is, how can I run tests quickly? How can I get into action, getting things done, and then testing? And so the BOM process is built around that. So when we get to the next module, what you'll discover is I kind of am going to teach you that at the beginning, we want to just kind of knock out the basics, like the stuff that I can say, hey, you got to get all this stuff done. We're just going to get it done. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to get to the point that you're ready to start testing. You're ready to start building your list, see what works, see what messages convert, see what gets people's attention, and then see and run that and iterate and learn and run tests as quickly as you can, and then do the same thing with developing a product. And so the point of the process is to, hey, let's knock out all the other stuff, then get you there. And so that, at its core, is what the process is about, and about getting you to run the right test in a quick succession so that you're getting to the right answer. So I want to finish this module with this lesson to help you understand that ultimately what you need to do is recognize that you're going to be running repeated tests and you need to run them quickly. And that means getting into action. Don't worry about things being perfect. Get stuff done and move on. Now, I'll share something that I think this was Reid Hoffman who said, but one of these great founders of a great tech company said, if you're not embarrassed by your first product, website, etc., you waited too long to launch it. Because once you get to the point of success, you should be embarrassed by what you did before. I can admit, I look back at some of my first brands and I'm like, man, that's kind of ugly. And that's okay. If you're not, chances are you waited too long because you were trying to make it perfect. And you won't do that. You're never going to make a product perfect. You're never going to come up with the perfect message until you put it in front of your audience, test it, and work through it. So embrace a mentality of testing and speedy action and getting stuff out there as quickly as possible. So that's the final lesson of this module. We'll see you next in the next module, where we're going to dive into the phases and kind of more of, hey, here's the things to work on first, here's the things to work on second, in an ordered way so you'll know what you need to be fixing when in your business. So I'll see you in module 3.